Hi, I'm sat here with the Physics House Band who have just played a storming set at this year's ArcTanGent. Guys, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
I'm Adam. Hello.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Dave.
How did you feel your set went earlier?
That was one of the best sets that we've played, I think.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like crowd reaction and
it helps so much. It just fuels the performance when there's people like, you know, you can't see because there's so many people and they're all going for it and they're enjoying it. And it's, yeah, it was awesome.
What is your ideal crowd reaction like? Because I know
applause,
today,
I'd say.
Yeah,
just applause.
Good.
Yeah. And then
a sort of expression of understanding but confusion mixed together.
What about when the song's playing? Do you expect to try and see people either like jumping or, say for example, moshing at the same time? Because that was happening during that fucking tank earlier. Some people were jumping whilst others were moshing around, and then one guy was just throwing beer over everyone. It's like when you're playing your
everyone
songs,
does their part.
Yeah,
it's like when you're playing your songs, how do you want the audience to react? Do you want them
just to express themselves
Safely.
Yeah, safely. A safe crowd is a happy crowd.
Yeah.
Like, guys, could you put down the cans, please? No cuts. Health and safety out here. That is a glass bottle, no whiskey.
That basically.
Right now.
Yeah, safely.
Yeah, it's because I mentioned before we started you were standing up the whole time. Do you have a constant urge to just make the crowd just more?
Well, it depends. Like sort of, the more people in the crowd, the more they're vibing it than I vibe it too. And I don't know. I kind of get lost in it all. Really, just it's kind of me letting off even more energy than I have already. Just like, that exactly. That's the way to make when I do it. But no, yes. Just a lot of fun. I just get carried away. If I get carried away, I get carried away. So to find balance.
How long have you been on site for, and what do you think of the actual festival so far? Like the bands who are playing and the whole like ethos and the atmosphere around it.
We got here about, we got very lost. We visited another farm on the way to ask for directions, and they were like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So we drove around for a while, eventually found this place due to the small yellow ribbons they put on the road. Yeah, if it wasn't for those like small, maybe 6 to 8 inch yellow ribbons, then we'd be lost still now.
We found this place because we got lost and we went to turn round in a driveway and ended up finding that driveway in here.
Oh, fair play.
Oh, fantastic!
How convenient. But no, it's very cool. It's to have a festival which is this kind of randomly loud. No, it's good. There's a really kind of diverse set of bands and musicians here, which is always fun. I guess it's kind of pushed into, maybe we might look at like the math like clique or niche, but when you really look at the amount of bands playing, like the difference between them, it's actually an extremely open festival, and everyone seems really happy. We've had people come and talk to us afterwards who just seem genuinely excited about the music. It's less of like a let's go to a field and get really drunk. It's much more of a let's go to a field and listen to some music, which is a really like great ethos to base a festival upon.
Yeah, your point there, it's massive because you go to many festivals and you see people stuck in the campsite the whole time. Well, they do this, they sit there and they drink. We've walked through the campsites quite a lot over the past yesterday and maybe today. No one's there, they are just out enjoying the bands.
Yeah, completely. It's a festival for music lovers, definitely. Not just a festival for the sake of its own existence.
It's nice to see some got a lot of friends that are playing as well, and a lot of friends here as well. Like it's back with Polymath, played earlier on the same stage. Delta Sleep, Tall Ships, 3-Track Tigers. Like it's just nice to see all of them and get them in one place and have a laugh.
In a way, there's like a Brighton reunion going on, and that was my next question is like, what are your thoughts on the Brighton music scene? Because it seems like you guys, you've got Polymath, and then Nordic Giants and Tall Ships. It's all been like quite fast for the past 6 months. Like, how do you think the scene is at the moment?
It's interesting. It's like, you know, there's a lot to it. It's not just necessarily the math direction. There's a lot of really creative electronic music there, psychedelic, especially. All these kind of things sort of mixed into one. It's creating some really good nights there, and it's all kind of it seems, you know, people are sort of noticing that there's some good stuff coming from Brighton in that kind of realm.
It's an extremely liberal place, so a lot of people, I mean, from music to dress styles or kind of how they view the world, you're very free to do whatever the hell you want in Brighton without being judged, and having that kind of I don't know, that air about the place lets people kind of be quite creative in different ways. So that's where there are so many good bands like in different genres that you'll find in Brighton. I think it's just it's a good kind of melting pot of ideas and influences.
Do you have a recommendation?
Luo, L-U-O, electronic producer who now plays with a live band, and it's just, yeah, incredible. Like, really, really good. Just, I can't even begin to describe it, so check out Luo.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So like you mentioned quickly there about like nights and stuff. You put on your own night, like the first one. You've done 2 now, the Physics House Party.
We do the Physics House Party, and then we do our own night every month called Kaleidoscope, which Kaleidoscope is basically, you know, me and Adam have got a big record collection, and we love music.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like hip hop, electronic, psychedelic, Afrobeat, Latin, jazz, all this kind of thing. Psychedelic projections, and that's just kind of our sort of cool residency, if you know, if you will. But Physics House Party is just like a chance for us to get all of our like favourite people under one roof, and just go a bit mental, really. Like, you know, it's just us having fun, really.
What's your favourite record in your collection?
Herbie Hancock, Headhunters.
I love how fast you were there. Like,
I got an original pressing. I spent quite a bit of money on it, but it was worth it because I love that record so much.
Pink Floyd's Metal. That's kind of, for me, it's difficult for people to have this exact thing, but that's my favourite song, Echoes, my favourite album, Metal, my favourite band.
Can I have a second one?
yeah, of course. I'm not going to say no. It's like, no, just put my foot down.
Let's talk about it.
I told you about this, Sam. It's the one.
1983 by Flying Lotus. Got a limited green vinyl, and it's like 1 or 200.
Is it still packaged?
What's that?
Is it still packaged?
It's got the sleeve. It's got the plastic film sleeve.
Discogs will be happy.
Yeah, Discogs will be happy. That's Flying Lotus, and that Flying Lotus and his label Brain Feeder is my sort of almost first love over progressive music. I love electronic music, sort of that new wonky sound, and you know, all the LA producers, Ninja Tune, all this sort of thing. That's like a big collector of that. Love it.
I think you mentioned it on stage earlier, something about improvisation. What are your thoughts on improvisation on stage, and obviously in creating your music? Do you what are your processes when you create music? Do you just do a few riffs and see how it happens, or is there an actual proper thought process behind like the layering and the rhythm of what you're doing?
There are a lot of different processes that go into it. Sometimes it comes from just jamming and improvising for an hour, and we're like, oh, that bit you did half an hour ago went like this or whatever the hell. Let's try that again. Or it'll come from Sam and I might write all the instruments and then bring it and dictate the parts to everyone else. Or it'll be one idea that gets jammed around and someone will have an idea to go over it. It's definitely every piece of music, every song we have has a different kind of genesis. So, but in terms of improvisation on the stage, I like it. I mean, there's different levels. There's true improv, which is basically no one has any idea what anyone else is going to do, and it's essentially kind of like free. Kind of madness, and there's improv, which is kind of controlled, which is essentially what we do. Where we know the parts that are coming up. We know essentially when to start and when to stop, and then I'll pretty much be like next section, or kind of, I don't know, dynamics down, dynamics up, or this is keyboard solo.
Or the R. Kelly.
Oh, if you haven't seen it, the R. Kelly Jules Holland performance, his musical director has this thing which is the Swan.
You gotta make sure you do it directly.
Literally, it's this, right? If you want to, I'll do it sideways so you can see the profile of the Swan. So if you guys can just make some noise, just like anything, and when I do this, you have to stop. So just go.
Works a treat.
It's great, and then you can release it again. So.
There you go.
That's great. That's basically it.
I didn't see that on stage today.
I don't do it that much. I used to do it more, but in one song I did. But now I have to turn off something on the keyboard, so there's no room for the Swan. And
I don't know, but I just keep thinking of Jim Carrey and the Claw from Lion Lion. Stop your music.
Yeah. Once I get that third hand, then hell, we'll try and work that one in. But funding is difficult these days.
Have we tangented? What were we talking about?
Tangenting's fine.
We've ArcTanGented.
Oh, if I hadn't interrupted you there, that could have been like a perfect tagline for the whole festival. Yeah. Do it again. Say it again.
I'll be so shit the second time. You were saying?
I'm waiting for the second time.
Ah, really?
No, not really. It's not put you on the spot. It's fine. I can't do things under pressure.
I was almost going to do it. I'll have to walk in again and sit down and start the interview again.
It feels like it could just be like a sitcom or something. Just walk in, sit down, like, oh, we've ArcTanGenting. How strongly are you influenced by like 8-bit music and everything that surrounds you? Because when I was listening to you earlier, I don't know why, but I felt like if I closed my eyes, I could be watching a movie or something, a soundtrack or something. Like, where's your most diverse inspiration? Like, where's it from? Like, do you have, say, a bit from Ghostbusters that you're inspired to do something a certain way? Like, where's your most diverse inspiration?
It's very difficult. I guess you get inspiration from anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be very philosophical about it and say, every interaction you have with anyone will influence you in a certain way, change the course of your day, and you can go into the whole Everett multi-world theory, like, did this happen, so this is kind of my creative process goes like this because I met this guy today and he said this thing. But I guess the good thing about maybe what we do and other bands you'll see here today is that everything sounds like, I guess, more than a culmination of its influences.
Yeah.
So you've got loads of influences that won't necessarily sound in the music. I mean, we're all into a lot of diverse music. You know, at the moment I'm listening to a lot of a guy called Sufjan Stevens, and I'm listening to Elliott Smith as well. And also a lot of classical music, but you don't hear that in what we play at all.
No.
But there's certain kind of like nuances with the style of how I'll direct or how Sam will write or the way Dave will play that influenced by things that you don't hear at all. So I guess it's pretty much anything you come across that seems to, anything that's slightly different, anything that kind of makes you think more than a second of, and that changes your current mindset will influence you.
Yeah,
so,
that's the perfect answer to the question because like you can hear that in your music. It's like your music is not ordinary in any way. It's like it's above ordinary. It's like you can see that like your influences have come from everywhere. Like you said, just one small thing. It may not be massively obvious, but like you can hear it. And like certain ways you play things, certain ways you've layered songs above.
Well, I think a large part of it as well is also the whole instrumental side of things, where we're not, as opposed to a lot of kind of regular, say, well, to use like the umbrella phrase pop music or a lot of vocal music, we're not really dictating how you need to feel to it.
Yeah.
So we're not saying this song is about love, feel love, this song is a sad song, feel sad, etc. We're basically being quite, I don't know, emotive and expressive with the composition, but it's very much down to the receiver to decide how they feel about it, or what the song's about, what it feels to them, which I guess is, I guess it's quite nice. And that means once again they can totally interpret what they think the influences are.
Yeah, my inspiration comes from like, it's a very basic level, but it's just people who I think are cool, and that is a very basic thing. But it's like, I think Miles Davis is really cool, so I want to try and achieve that level of coolness, or Flying Lotus, or Rick Rubin, or whoever it is. They're the people that I look up to and want to go, like, I watch their performances, whether be it live or recorded, and I'm like, I just want to do that. I want to be that guy. Like, with people being in my position, going, that guy's
saying I want to be.
Yeah, and it's very, it is a very sort of like self-indulgent, and it's a very basic level of inspiration, but that's where the main inspiration comes from.
That's also drive as well. There's your drive to like do what you do and to keep doing it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for like some left field questions I was thinking earlier. Would you guys ever be interested in going for Christmas #1?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
I've got a high respect for pop music, like big time, and I'm not adverse to writing pop music in the future. If it can fuel my other activities in life, there's nothing wrong with that.
Do you dream of being the next Katy Perry?
Yeah, big time. Every night.
Wearing cakes.
Not necessarily that, but that's there's like they're not totally shit. The songs, they're written for a purpose, and I think it would be quite fun to adapt and to write to a different purpose, like, which would be the complete opposite of our purpose now. And I think that would be pretty fun. So
I'm going to hold you to that.
Yeah?
I really want to see you guys write Christmas number 1. I think it'll be amazing.
It's going to be Sleigh Bells in 2116.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
And my final question that I've caught a few bands out with this weekend. If you were to curate a festival, who would be your 4 headliners and why?
4 headliners.
And
Jazzists.
you have to agree between each other as
Well,
well.
Jazzist, absolutely.
On a Thursday.
11-piece Norwegian jazz fusion prog sort of act. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
They'd be. See, for me, like a good Friday act. I don't know what grounds on Thursday.
Thursday's included in the main ticket.
Thursday.
As well, just so it's not just like, oh.
How many days are we talking?
4.
Oh, 4 days. So we've got like each night.
Do they like? And it has to be bands that are.
Current and past. So you've
Current and
got
past.
3 rounds to just be like,
Then it would take us a while to go in there, because I'd have like Zappa, Floyd, Sufjan Stevens, and then probably just Holst.
Yeah.
use the same.
Saying the name again, but Flying Lotus. Just love that guy. Like, you know, he's very different from this, but that guy's puts on the show. Then I know they're already playing here, but just because they're just a fucking great band, 3 Track Tigers. They're just so good. Like, they're just so good.
They're playing
live.
tomorrow, aren't they?
Yeah, playing tomorrow on the main stage, but like 3rd from the M. I know, you know, they're, you know, kind of know them, on the same label, but they just like every time I watch them, I just love it. I just enjoy it so much, and I just want people to experience the same thing when they watch them live. And then Miles Davis.
Yeah, I'd go to that.
Yeah. So what would you call it? We call it Physics House Festival.
Well, nice one, Sarah.
Yep.
That was
Yours.
Mars Volta in the prime, obviously, when they got a whole big band and everything.
2008.
2008.
And maybe 2006 as well.
I don't know,
Did
John
you know
Theodore,
that's
John
3
Theodore
Mars
can't play.
Voltas so far today?
Really?
3 different bands have said Mars Volta. You on to it?
Cinematic Orchestra, orchestra.
Yes.
We went to see him at Royal Albert Hall, and it was an emotional experience. It really was. Who else? Fuck, I really don't know.
Beatles.
Yeah, but they weren't that good live though, were they? Well, I don't know. They didn't do many.
I don't know. I never
Just
saw
trying to push
Well,
yourself.
if they have wings. Garnet the devil.
It's just too much.
I'd say Lou Bega.
Lou Bega.
Yeah.
Mambo number 5.
Performing
Just on
his
repeat
hit.
for about an hour and a half. Just
And
like
the Venga
Statue.
Boys, just because.
Oh yeah.
The Venga Boys big band.
Aqua and warm up.
Aqua.
Yeah.
That I might pay to see that.
There could be a stage dedicated to that.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're open.
I've got another interview after you guys today, but I'm not going to tell you who. To that camera there, could you say a question that we have to ask him?
Yes.
Does it hurt when I do this?
I'll have to ask that as well now. What is this?
Yeah, I think it's just
Where-
something
where's
nice
it?
and ambiguous. Like.
Can you show me where the no, Joe?
Stop right there. Oh, you wanted something quite serious, didn't you?
No.
Alright, well,
I'll happily say what Adam said.
Yeah.
Just be like, what is this?
if you could take on another revered person's persona for a day, whose persona would you take on?
That's perfect.
That's a good one.
There you go.
Thank you very much, guys, for taking time to chat. I only have 2 Galaxy Ripples, so you have to
No,
fight with
what?
yourself.
Bullshit.
But yeah, have a good weekend. Speak to you soon.
No, I'm pissed off now.